he will entertain us. And I'm sure the impala and the wildebeest will oblige as well. They're just off to the right. But we did have an amazing storm last night. The lightning was just incredible. It was almost like it was a disco. Perfect. At least we can still see Mr. Ellie enjoying his maroon fruits. Enjoy your breakfast this morning, mister. These 20s, 30s. You see he's starting to get those deep grooves just behind his eyes, and they will carry on getting deeper as he gets older. But judging by the tusks, it's not too long. It's only 8. I have a lot to play at the genetics, but maybe with him having a lack of one tusk. It wasn't raining, but so we can't control the weather, sadly. But welcome on board wherever you are in the world, and if you would like to send in any questions this morning, then send them through to questions@WildEarthTV, or you can send them through to the Twitter account as well, #SafariLive. And join us on a safari around South Africa. The trunk of a tree. I'm just going to see if I can maybe turn the vehicle slightly, because we can also have a look at the impala. Just under that tree there. Yeah, we can see a few of them. Wildebeest are just a little bit more to the right. There's not much room to manoeuvre under the little house. You can see they're all busy grazing. Now, the lion tracks were on the other side of this open area. We saw 2 or 3 impala rams lying down, somewhere to the left of the elephant. And you might just be able to, yeah, you can just make out the ram in amongst all the females here. It's quite a big female herd. And it looks like he was starting to chase out some of the other males, so that they are starting to gear up for breeding season, which is around March, April, May time, depending on the area. But it looks like he has started moving any younger males out of that group. Up until now they would have been tolerated. But it's still not as strict as what it can be when it gets to the breeding season. Oh, Mr. Eddie's off. Actually, if we're able to have a look at him, he's holding up his trunk, you can smell something. Elephants have actually got one of the best sense of smells in the animal kingdom, even better than dogs. But I'm wondering if he is wary, he might just have picked up the scent of the lions. But as soon as this rain subsides, we'll definitely have a wander around and see if we can follow up on those tracks. And with that wonderful sense of smell, he doesn't really need to see what he's looking at on the ground. He can just use his trunk to do that, sniff out where the marula fruits are. And that trunk of theirs is just an amazing appendage. I mean, they can use it for so much, and they can pick off a single blade of grass between the fingers of the trunk, and they can rip down branches from trees. They can use it to help push over trees. It really is quite amazing. And it's pure muscle. Looking about 8 muscles in the trunk, and it's all divided up into something like 149,000 fascicles. Absolutely incredible, and that's what gives it the movement. It can bend any which way the elephant wants it to. So some of you might have heard me just mention the Burchell's cuckoo. He's known as the rainbird, and he was calling just before we left camp. And he is also, he's very good at predicting the rain usually. Although I have my doubts sometimes, because where I used to work they were a little bit off. Sometimes it'd be up to a week before it started raining. So when they start calling, it's somewhere in the next 24 hours. But it's kind of a liquid call. Let's see if I can actually impersonate him. It's not one of the best calls I can do, but it's something like a... That ram, that male impala, is intently watching the elephant. If you're able just to zoom out a little bit, he's just where he was, but he's just watching him quite intently. You can just about see the wildebeest coming into frame now as well. As he just put his head down. Typical. Oh no, he is there. He's just hiding. He's just in front of the wildebeest actually. He's just hiding. Just to the top right of the screen. Very cool. And the blue wildebeest right at the back there. Now, one of the reasons why I think impala are so successful is they will actually take leaves and grass. So when they eat grass, they're known as grazers, and when they eat leaves, they're known as browsers. But the impala are what's known as mixed feeders. So they'll take a bit of everything. That's why you'll find impala out in the open plains as well as in the thick bush. Oh, Mr. Elephant's off. And one of the reasons why elephants have got so large is because they can actually utilise very poor quality food, and that's true for a lot of the big bulk grazers, so like the rhinos. As well, they tend to eat grass that maybe isn't as nutritious as what the antelope need. So the wildebeest that you saw just at the top of the screen are grazers, and they'll need fairly good quality food to get the nutrients out that they need. Let's say the elephant has grown in size, so they can actually eat a lot of food. So it doesn't really matter if it's good quality or not, because it takes quite a long time for it to go through the digestive system, and they'll get out what they need, but they'll only digest maybe 40% of what they eat. And for an average size elephant, that can be about 150 kilos of food a day. But because they can take in the bulk, that's the secret. But what comes out the other end? There's a lot of wastage. And when you look at what comes out the end of the impala or the wildebeest, it's actually very small compared to their body size, and that's because they utilise as much as possible, and they utilise as much as possible by chewing the cud. So they'll eat or feed while it's cooler, usually in the morning and afternoon, but especially the diurnal species like the impala and the wildebeest, they will graze or browse throughout the day as well if need be, but the heightened activity, the heightened times are in the cooler periods. And then when it gets too hot, they'll go and find a nice place to rest, sometimes in the shade, sometimes they'll sit outside, and they'll just chew the cud. So they're regurgitating what they've already fed on. And they chew it down, make it really nice and mushy. And that allows the bacteria to actually attack the food from all angles, and that helps to break it down even further. And when the bacteria in the stomach dies, it'll pass through the digestive system of the antelope, and that's where they get quite a lot of the protein from. Really quite amazing. And they're also extremely good at retaining water as well, and especially some of the antelope that you won't really see here because they prefer much drier habitats like the eland and the gemsbok. And they're actually able to retain quite a lot of water. Oh, there's a very small impala, baby impala. It's just behind this bush here. Just hopefully they'll come out now. I'll keep walking. But she's going to come out from behind that other marula tree just in front of us. Keep an eye on it, but it was a very small one. It's obviously been born a lot more recently than the other impala.
There's a question from Virginia in Kentucky. She wants to know if wild elephants ever walk with the trunk holding the tail in front of them, or is that really just something that happens in circus?
Sorry, can you just repeat who it's from?
Virginia in Kentucky.
Good morning to you, Virginia from Kentucky. Oh, there's our baby. It's just popping out now, walking towards Mum. Welcome on board to you this morning, Virginia. I hope you're well this morning. And Virginia wants to know, do wild elephants hold each other's tails in their trunk, or is that more of just a circus act? And apparently when they're crossing rivers, the young will quite often hold on to mum's tails, and if there's an adult behind, I've heard that they'll hold on to the tail of the baby just to keep hold of it, just in case the current sweeps them away. So I think under circumstances, those kind of circumstances, it is possible, but generally speaking, they won't. And the females will keep a good close watch on the youngsters, and they'll stick close to mum for the first couple of years or so. And baby will be either right next to mum's leg, or mum will be able to keep a check on where baby is with her trunk. And as they get a little bit older, they'll use the tail as well. And I've actually seen giraffes do it. And I think it was actually Mark that pointed it out to me. I hadn't heard that before. And he said, no, the mums will actually keep a watch on where the baby is without having to turn around and look each time. They'll just use their tails just to keep batting them over the head just to make sure they're still there. And I say after he said that, I did notice the giraffes doing the same thing. You can see the tails are flicking on the antelope, on the impala that you can see in front of you, and that just means all is well. And if they stop flicking the tails, that means that there might be something out there. And then you might see a few more individuals just stop and have a look out, and you'll see every so often. The individuals that you can see on your screen will just put their heads up and just have a quick look. And because there's so many in the herd, each one will look at a different spot. And if somebody sees something, they'll sound the alarm and everyone will stop what they're doing and look to see what's going on. But yeah, the gemsbok and the eland have amazing adaptations to cope with much drier habitats. And as I say, they're actually able to take out of their food an amazing amount of water. They actually have an adaptation in their kidney. And there's a special little piece in that kidney called the loop of Henle. And that's where all the water absorption occurs. And they actually have quite a long loop of Henle, and that allows them to take in a lot of water from what they eat. And in some of the desert areas, the gemsbok, I think, actually will eat watermelons to get, and a lot of other animals that live in the desert as well will eat melons just to get moisture out of it, so they don't necessarily need to go and find water. But if it's there and available, they will drink it. Now there's the woodland kingfishers. You might be hearing them every so often. Chirp, chirp.
There's a question about woodland kingfishers from Sandy and Steve from North Dakota. Sandy and Steve from North Dakota. And they wonder if the kingfishers make any other calls besides that chirp, chirp call.
Good morning to you, Sandy and Peter. And good to hear from you this morning. And they would like to know if there's any other calls that the kingfishers make, rather than just the chip chirr. And I've never heard them make other calls apart from alarm calls, and that sounds quite frantic. But some of the other kingfishers that we see, they're very quiet at this point, and I think it is because the woodlands kingfishers just seem to be quite dominant, but it could just be they're just not calling this time of year. But the brown-hooded kingfisher is one that springs to mind, but certainly on the reserve that I'm working at, about 3 hours drive from here, the woodlands, the brown-hooded kingfishers are calling quite a lot that side. So it's quite interesting to see when there is a bit of a difference in the areas, and some birds maybe keep a little bit quieter than others at certain times of the year. But they say, pity for you, pity for you. That's the brown-hooded kingfisher. They still have a slight shock of electric blue, but not as much as the woodland kingfisher. It looks like there's that baby taking something from the adult there, I think.
Yeah.
Very cool. And of course they are a summer visitor to breed here, and once winter sets in they'll be heading back to the centre of Africa where they spend their winter, nice and warm. So they're known as an inter-Africa migrant. But the brown-headed kingfisher is a resident. Oh, I think adult might have got something again, he might come back in. Interestingly, the striped kingfisher also goes chipchir, but it's not as long. So you do have to be careful if you've got the striped kingfisher in your area. There we go. To make sure that you're not getting mixed up. But as I say, the call doesn't last as long as what it does with the woodland kingfisher. Good morning, any station out on drive this morning? Sounds like all the guests are in bed this morning. It sounds like the rain is starting to ease up a little bit, but there is quite a lot of mist over yonder. So I'm hoping that's not going to bring too much. If you can have a look over there, I'm able to pan over that side. Just in front of us. So I'm hoping that's going to ease up because I'm really itching to follow those cat tracks. See if we can't find ourselves some lions this morning. But if you are joining us, we're just taking shelter underneath the little house on the prairie for the time being, just while the rain is still here. Unfortunately, I think that big storm brought this in this morning. We had just lightning everywhere. It really was quite amazing, just flashes absolutely everywhere, all around. And it lasted for quite a long time. We were trying to take pictures just as it was arriving. But it did last for quite a long time, and then we had hail this morning. But just to fill you guys in on what happened last night, if you weren't able to join us, we actually went through to the hyena den, and maybe we'll try again this afternoon or maybe even later on this morning. And we couldn't catch up with the little hyena, so it might be that there was an elephant footprint fairly close to the den. So if the elephant did come through and disturb them, it could be that Mother moved the cub. But I don't think Mother was around. It could have been that she went on quite a long excursion to go and find food, and it could be she stayed out in the bush overnight or during the day, and she maybe came back last night to come and find the baby. And that's what will happen. It will stay inside the hole so it's nice and safe and out the way of harm's reach, and the mother doesn't need to worry about the baby at all. And that's one of the reasons why they leave them at a den in the first place. So I think maybe we decided on an Ntumbela, which means to hide in Shangaan, for the little baby, and I thought maybe we could shorten it to Bella, which would be quite a nice name. But to hide, I think, is very apt at this stage. But very interesting. But also, we did find a leopard last night. So after we left the hyena den, we got the call through that there was a leopard at Twin Dams, and the leopard was Nkunyema. I am going to have to practice that name. I keep saying I will, and I keep forgetting every time I get back to camp. But one of Karula's fourth litter, it's her male from that fourth litter, along with the quarantine male, it's his brother. But he caught a monitor lizard, and apparently it was quite a big monitor lizard, and when we saw it, the signal was just a little bit too choppy. But even Andrew said, "Oh, is that a rabbit?" It was that big. It was fairly large. So he had a nice meal last night, and I was hoping maybe we could make our way down to Twin Dams this morning. And see if he was still there. But with those lion tracks as well, we don't get the lions passing through as often as what I think we'd all like. So it'd be nice to try and catch up with those cats if they are still on the property. But they may have just passed through and carried on heading in that direction. But so as soon as this rain subsides, we'll see if we can head out and look for them. And if we're not successful, then we'll head down to Twin Dams. See if he's still around. And lions and leopards aren't as fussed about rain as what you'd think. Even cheetahs. I've actually seen cheetah when it has been... You actually can't see further than 5 or 6 meters in front of you. I've actually seen cheetahs hunting in that, and it was quite incredible. And I thought, you know what, it's a cat, it doesn't like rain. But no. They were under the bush, and as soon as it started raining heavily, they were taking advantage and hunting a big herd of impala. And as they were hunting this herd of impala, the one male actually scarpered, and his brother kind of looked around and kind of looked at where he went and looked back at the impala and was kind of very confused, saying, "Hold on a minute, I thought we were hunting here." And then he suddenly looked up, and there was this lioness just on the other side of the impala herd, so she obviously had the same idea as well. So he scarpered, and there was a bit of a standoff between the cheetah and the lioness, but she decided that it was also a good time to hunt, so they're not too bothered about the rain. And I remember seeing a big pride of lion. Also, there was the rain coming in, and I was saying to my guest, okay, well, the rain's coming in, they'll probably go and find shelter. Nope. They sat there and they were just getting absolutely saturated. They were sitting there for quite a long time until it was extremely heavy, and then decided, okay, we'll go and find shelter. Now, how's it looking outside there? Is it still a little bit drizzly? A little bit, yeah, I can see a little bit still.
A little bit.
It might be worth maybe putting the cover on, and maybe if we can just have a quick look around Gary Dam and just see how the weather holds up. But it does look like we might just get a little bit coming in here. It might be mist. But even leopard as well, they will take advantage of the fact it's raining, because the rain actually helps dampen the smells. So the antelope or the prey, whatever they're actually going for, struggle to actually pick them up with the scent, even though the wind might be a little bit choppy at the beginning. But that's one of the reasons why they will make use of the rain. So I'm just keeping a lookout, because you never know, maybe the lion actually made a detour and is underneath one of these bushes here, so I'm just checking out every so often just to see if the lions aren't around here. Forever hopeful. But yeah, so I don't know, maybe if we can put the rain cover on and let's just see. I don't think it's as heavy as it was. Just a little bit misty, and just see if we can have a look around Gary Dam. And of course the jaguar from South America is very famous for being an aqua cat. It has its nickname, and it will actually go swimming. And even the tigers also, Sumatran tigers will also go swimming, and Bengal tigers are seen in the water as well. Good morning. I don't think he's out and drive this morning. Morning, Ephraim. I've had Ungalan Konzos. They fanbird between Voyeurs and Final Control. Ungalan Konzo. Voyatella fambering towards Gary Dam. Not heard him on radio. One and glove quarantine also. getting the hang of that now. Short. Okay. Road gone, there it is. So for now, while it's still a little bit drizzly, we won't be able to go too far, but I'm hoping if maybe those lions are just tucked out of sight by the dam, we'll be able to see them. As we drove over, just checked that there was no tracks heading down towards Chelapan Way, which there wasn't, so we can rule that side out for now. Although they could have cut through the drainage line and obviously gone that way, but road-wise they didn't go that way. We didn't see anything on this road here. It's always worth just having a second look, just to make sure we didn't miss anything. There was just a few drops in the spoor, but it was only 1 or 2 drops, which means it was probably just before hail this morning, but certainly after the rain that poured in last night. I'd say, looking at it, I'd say probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And that's one of the nice things about the rain, it helps you with the tracking to age the spoor and even the scat to a certain degree, but the sun actually hit the dung, as we call it. So you can kind of guesstimate the time by looking at how crusty the dung is, how dried out it is. And with the spoor, you can see if it's over the top of the rain and you kind of roughly know when the rain ended, then that gives you the time frame to work with. So I couldn't follow the tracks all the way down from where we saw them, but they were in final control. I didn't want to disturb the guests in the lodge by driving right next to the lodge. It's overcast like this and it's slightly cooler. Preferred hunting weather. Sorry. Oops. Maybe they'll be lying down here somewhere. Not hearing any alarm calls. I did hear a squirrel first thing this morning from inside the staff area. Just make sure I can't see any heads or anything like that sticking out from under the bushes. Well, we've got the advantage of seeing this side. And we'll check the crossroads of Mvubu and Central. Just see if we can't pick up any tracks from that side. And I'm just checking down in the drainage line to our right, just to see if there isn't anyone down there as well. Anybody down there? No. Keep your eyes peeled, everybody. Shout if you see something. Just see if there's anything here. Yes. There we go. We got here. Don't know if you're able to get that. Yeah, there we go. So there's the toes, and there's the pad of the lion track. Okay, so it gets a little bit messy here. They might have just walked over on the rocks there. But these have lasted quite a bit longer because obviously in thicker substrate. Just see if there's anything up the top here that could have gone up that gain trail you were just having a look at there. I'm not seeing anything on the sand just there, but as I say, it could just be because it is slightly older. The rain's got to it already. Nice sandy patch here. Let's read the newspaper again. Yep. Okay, so we've got them going this way. And the weather is holding. The cons are fambering east along Central. Now, I'm actually trying to drive so I'm not destroying the road. So if we do lose the tracks, we can come back to this point where we saw the tracks. I'm still getting them here, they're still going straight. I just want to see if they do veer off at all. with this last rain, unfortunately it has removed quite a lot again. Okay, so we're coming to another junction. We'll have one track just back there. There's another one. Just want to make sure they are still going straight. No, hold on, we've got somebody coming around this way now. Oh yeah, oh nice tusks. And little baby as well, look at that. I was going to say, the teats look very swollen. And gloves, central. And gloves central, close to Gary cut line. Close to Gary cut line. Negative and glove. See, I think because that baby's so small, I think all the family are still very protective. They're giving us just a quick watch as they all came out. I'm hoping our lines didn't go down that way because they would pretty much obliterate any tracks that were there.
Apparently the lions were at the dam wall and
Oh, thank you very much, Pete. Pete was just saying that I think maybe one of the zoomies saw the lions at the dam wall about 11:30 last night, so there you go, I was a little bit off with my times there. Just goes to show it's not an exact science. So the rain must have ended a lot earlier than I thought it had. Oh. Wow, it is quite a nice big herd. Wait for me! And thanks for the information, Diane. Apparently it was the Nkahuma Pride. So I'm hoping we'll be able to catch up with them. So I'm just going to see. I don't want to get out the vehicle and have a look as soon as the elephants are around. I might just disturb them. Just going through the dip there. Let's see if we can catch up with them. If we're able to just figure out where these tracks go, because it's a little bit odd where that last track was placed. Because it crossed over as if it was coming around the corner here, but I'm not picking anything else up at this stage. It could have just gone straight, but we'll go to that next junction and just check. Looks like we might have them here. Oh, that didn't sound good. Yeah, they've gone up this way. So I think we'll stay on them, because if they have carried on straight, if they're just chilling out around here, because they're going to be very close to the boundary. And Konzo North Gary Cup line. Go ahead. Sorry, can you go again? I'm not able to drive Torchwood. Do you booger any Ingala that side? Copy, do you know what pride? Okay. Okay, copy, thanks Leah. Okay, so it's not our lines that we're tracking, but apparently this line's up by Cheetah Plains. Didn't quite copy the pride, it's not a pride I've heard of before. Okay, I might need you just to have a look on that side for me, because I think the track stayed on that side. See anything there? Otherwise I'm just going to carry on driving this way and hope they haven't veered off into the bush somewhere. And apparently there was a 2 cheetah that crossed over in system to Torchwood as well. So if you've just joined it, welcome on board. Follow the trail of Pride. But apparently we're seen around down about 11:30 last night. So they've already that side, but we'll hopefully catch up with them. Go ahead. Copy that, thank you. Well, I have done something very odd. Maybe that squirrel did actually see something then. Actually between Funnel and the lodge. So I wonder if they didn't split off, because we were definitely getting the lion tracks here. So I wonder if the ones that I've seen, the tracks of the 3, were different to the ones that were at the dam last night. So apparently they're on their way down towards the dam, so I think we'll catch up instead. Copy, thanks to the... Just goes to show I didn't want to go down there because I didn't want to disturb the guests. Oh dear. funny. I say these ones, they might have crossed over already. But it just goes to show anything's possible in the sands. Anything is possible. Yeah, it was fun tracking them while it lasted. I was going to say, because these ones definitely, it just wasn't making sense in my head, because those ones did look fresher than these ones, but I thought, oh, maybe we just didn't get as much rain that side as what we did this side. But it looked like there was a male with this lot, as well as, it looked like there was a male with, looked like 2 others. But let's see if we can't get a bit lucky now with these lions coming in. Sounds like there has been a height of activity with the cats. So I wonder they must have been tucked just around the corner as we drove past it.
Yeah.
And here he is, look! Oh, he's beautiful. There's the male. Oh, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Let's see if we can get closer to it. Fantastic. He is such a stunning boy. Beautiful black mane. Now where are you going to go, mister? I'm going to carry on. It looks like he's trying to find the scent. I wonder if he's going to follow the Oncohumus. I'm pretty sure that's who we were following now. Down to the water's edge, I wonder. Hello, beautiful boy. Looks like he's trying to get the scent. So apparently this is one of the Matimbas, and Corbury is saying. I was hoping he was going to come this way. Maybe not, so let's see if we can follow him. because I definitely had two other tracks now, unless he was following, maybe the Incahumas came down that path as well. So it did look like there was a couple of female tracks there. But it was certainly the males that I saw first, and then it was the females. So it would make sense. Yeah, to cross over here if he does cross. Yeah, we got him here. Yeah, he's on a mission, hey? No, I'm not going to be able to cross if he's going to cross. I'll have to go all the way around, I think. Couldn't you have gone around the back door, mister? I wonder if if one is actually an estrus and wanting to mate, because he really does look like he is on a mission. So maybe that's what's actually happened. Because those female tracks weren't looking as fresh, and as I say, I thought that one set that I did have was fresher. He's on their trail, which looks like he is. Starts to make sense, and hopefully we'll follow that trail around, because remember we have the track over this side.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can come up again. Go ahead. Yeah, he's fambering towards Gary Dam Wall. Copy. Looks like he's following the Incahumas. Looks like he's following Incahumas. Oh, he is so majestic, this boy. Okay, I'm gonna see if we can't make it around there and catch up with him again. Just keep an eye on him as much as you can. Hold that thought, mister. Don't go too fast. Now the Matimbas aren't a coalition I'm very familiar with, so I might need to get a little bit of an update from you guys. But generally speaking, you have males moving around together, and especially here in the sands, it's not really safe for the males to split apart. That is how the Mapopos, the reigning kings of the sands, met their downfall, because they started splitting up. They were a big coalition of 6, they started splitting off, and they started getting picked off one by the other male coalitions. If this coalition's not careful, what could happen to them? There he is, so beautiful. Let's see if we can get ourselves a real walk by. Wow, look at this. Welcome to Wild Earth, here live from South Africa, and it doesn't get much better than this, does it? Affirm East Vanbrugh Central. I'm looking a little bit on the lean side. I'm just going to turn around. How was that, everybody? Quite amazing, eh? King of East. Right on the ground there. Have anything to worry about. He is definitely preoccupied. Okay, what I'm going to do is just see if I can go off to the side again. And maybe see if we can get ahead of him again. Something happened there. After I'm getting close to the Gary cut line. On Central, close to Gary cut line now. Well, he should turn up Gary cut line, because that's where we had the tracks going. And I'm wondering if one of... Copy that. Yeah, it's just getting a little bit close here, so I thought I might just be able to overtake him, but unfortunately not, so we'll stay behind him. We might have another opportunity. But what I was saying is maybe the male track that we were having is one of the other Matimbas here already with the pride, the Unkabumas. So we'll see. We'll say we didn't get a chance to see if any other tracks went to the right. As the pride side may have split up. It looks like he has. He's gone to the right. He seems to be quite happy he's got them now, hey?
Yeah, he's on it.
He's just going.
There was a glimpse here.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Let's see if the elephants are stuck around. So if we have the trumpeting for one, that'd be a racehorse thing. But I wonder if male. Somebody go up that. It's amazing. No, he's just going under water, but he's great. So it sounds like he was snoozing a little bit between when it was raining. Maybe I wasn't too far out. He actually got to that spot. But even an hour and a half, 2 hours, just walking at this pace, they can cover ground. And they've actually, if you have a look at his mane, with that beautiful black mane, it's just stunning. It's thought to come in from Namibia, that gene. But apparently the females seem to be selecting for the dark mane. And they've actually done a study, and the females seem to like the long black mane, then the short black mane, which would mean a younger animal, then the long golden mane, and finally the short golden mane. That's the last one if they don't have any other choice, they'll go for. But obviously the longer the mane, the older the animal, the more dominant the animal. And if the animal's in good condition, their mane will be nice and thick and long. So it's a way for the females to see if they're in good condition or not. And one of the reasons for having that mane will be to protect the neck from when they're fighting, and obviously around the chest area as well. So it'll help to stop any blows. Copy, thank you. I think Zangara are giving us the runaround. Calls just come through that there's some females down on Impala open plains. So I really think these lions have been extremely active last night. Good morning to you, Peggy. Welcome on board this morning. Peggy's saying he looks a little bit lean, this lion, and I agree with you, he does look on a little bit of the lean side. Oh, you can see him nicely there, can you? Having a bit of a scratch there. And that could be why he's also wanting to catch up with the pride. And it could be possible that there's a kill somewhere. Especially with such an amazing storm last night. Caught the scent of something, but decided it wasn't for him. I say the cats can take advantage of the confusion that thunderstorms can actually cause. But look at that muscle. I mean, he's not in bad shape at all. He just needs a good meal. And remember, cats work on that process of being empty and full, and they will eat till it looks like they're about to pop, and they'll eat some more. It sounds like those females are heading west. We're quite far away from the females. If they're heading west, it means they're going to cross Triple M, just out of reach for us. So I think we'll stick with the male for now and just see where he ends up. Maybe we'll locate those lions. But I'd love to know what happened to that individual that went up Gary Cookline. Maybe some went north and some went east. We'll meet again. How's it, Ephron?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah,
are you going to follow him?
Sorry?
Are you going to follow him?
Yes, because all the female is close to Torchwood.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think it started following him like that.
Yeah. So I'm hoping if we get another opportunity to try and get in front of him, for those who might just be joining in, seeing side of him, not always the best side of the lion. See if we can try and see the bushes on either side.
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live.
Well, welcome back everybody. We're still with him. He's just scent marked on the tree just in front of us. This beautiful boy from the Matimbas. So I'm still waiting for an opportunity. So for those of you who might not be familiar with the whole lion setup, because certainly when I was a kid we were given the wrong impression of what actually happens with lions. I always had the impression it was just the males, the females and the cubs, they all live happily ever after, and it's not quite that simple. And lions will hold on to a territory, especially the male lions, and they'll form a coalition. And the coalition can be 2 up to the maximum that we've heard about is 6, but maybe further north there might be more. And obviously the more males in a coalition, the larger the territory they can control. And within that territory there may be a pride of females, or maybe sometimes up to 4 prides within the territory, depending on how many males there are. And they'll go around and visit different females, or the prides, and see if there's any females ready to mate. And there tends to be, when it comes to mating, it tends to be on a first come first served basis, and I think the female also has obviously the say if she likes the look of the male or not. But it seems to be quite an understanding, if you like, when there is a female in estrus. And as I say, that could be why these boys are split off to go and find the females. It could be that there's more than one pride with females in estrus, and maybe that could be another reason why they're split off. Say it is unusual for him to be on his own if he is part of a coalition, and he's asking for trouble if that is the case, because again, safety in numbers, strength in numbers. And as I say, the big coalitions, that's where they start having their downfall, is when they start splitting off, and other coalitions can come and pick them off one by one, which is what happened to the Mapocos. But you might get some males actually staying with the females. Sorry Pete, can you repeat the name? I missed that. Oh, Percy. Hi Percy, good afternoon, good morning to you. Percy wanting to know how far am I from the lion. Now obviously with the camera we do always look a little bit closer to the animals than what we are. I did get a little bit closer to him at one stage. He picked up his pace a little bit, that's when I backed off a little bit. I was actually not as close to him as what I thought, but obviously in his head I was a little bit close. He has gone off into the bush there. Gone through that way. I'll see if we can maybe just pick him up around the corner. Because it's very thick in there. But we're probably a good 15-20 metres behind him. And as I say, we just judge how they are from their body language, their behaviour. He wasn't looking behind him, which means he was pretty comfortable with us. As I say, he didn't pick up his pace, it was just that once he picked up his pace. There's a queue just through there. thought we actually went around the corner a little bit quicker than what we have. That bush is extremely thick. And as I say, I think it was when I was trying to flank him, I was coming around the side and I was hoping we could have maybe passed him. And he obviously didn't like that, but I was still a good 15 metres away from him. As I say, this is what it's all about. It's listening to the animals and obviously trying to get a nice view for you guys, but not compromising what the animals are telling us, and that's very important. So that's why we will listen to these guys. Are you able to get past?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Because all the tracks is crossing like a Mamba road.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, he should pop out here then.
Yes.
And if he does, you could be in trouble, boy. Yeah, he's looking in that general direction. Well, this would be quite interesting if he does pop out here and the impala does give that alarm call. You'll be able to hear what I've been talking about with the alarm call. Oh, I can hear the Franklins. I think he is making his way through. Yeah, he's just picked up the Franklins. Having a bit of a stretch. Yeah, I would definitely get those muscles ready, boy.
Yeah, this impala knows something's up.
I think this was the same boy we had the other day, quite possibly. Same place.
How come you're not passing them?
But why don't we go around them?
So there's an open area just opposite us, and I'm hoping he'll come out through there. And say he's not. It doesn't look like he's going to be interested in going for the impala. The impala's very alert anyway, so he would have lost the element of surprise. So that would add to the possibility of him not actually going after the impala, but it wouldn't stop the impala giving the alarm call. Okay. Just over the way there, that's where the Franklins have just called. Few Franklin being disturbed, so I think he's on his way. Yeah, it's got too much for the impala. Okay, it seems the impala has moved. maybe just head down to the road, because at some stage he should cross the road, because it could have been that he went behind that tree. So Franklin did call from just beyond there, so it's possible it didn't pop out where I was hoping. I'm just scanning this area. As I said, I didn't want to drive past the Impala and push the Impala towards the lion. Let's say that's always something we've got to be careful about as well, not impacting on their life too much. I mean, obviously driving around we do have some form of impact, but we are part of their life as well. These animals would have been born to this life where they see vehicles on a fairly regular basis. A few more Franklins here, so let's just keep our fingers crossed that we hit this bit of road right where we might see him again. Just depends on what scent he picked up in the bush, because he might have changed his direction slightly. So even though he was fairly parallel to where we were, it might be that he has changed slightly. I'm going to be able to see behind us and see as far ahead in front as well. Good morning to you, Kathy, and welcome on board this morning. And Kathy wanting to know if there is a male with the females, will he be able to determine that from the smell? And almost certainly yes. The scent, the spraying, he'll be able to pick up the information that he needs about the individuals there. And obviously he'll know if it's his brother. And that's usually how coalitions get formed. It's usually litter mates, siblings, and that's one of the reasons why possibly there's not really as much rivalry for the females as what you'd think, because obviously they say they share the same genes, so it doesn't really matter who mates with the female, it's still their family genes being passed on. Sometimes males can form coalitions or can be incorporated into the coalition who aren't related. It doesn't happen very often, but it has been documented. But generally speaking, they are related. Now, Ephraim was saying he also had some tracks coming out on Mamba Road, so maybe the female tracks actually did cross onto Mamba Road, so maybe it's worth us going down to that junction, because if he's followed them. But just keep looking behind as well, Andrew, if you can, just to make sure he's not popping out behind us. Too far, because I say we were hearing those Franklins fairly close to where I thought you'd come out. Just try once more down here. Out for any more alarm calls as well. the Majingilans, which means walking the line. And they were quite a fearsome security group here over in South Africa. And the Majingilans definitely lived up to their name. And some animals seem to just get the nicknames just because of what they've got character-wise. So we had floppy ear, we had the hyena. I wonder, actually she was the matriarch hyena, I remember now. I'd forgotten about that yesterday, but floppy ear was the matriarch of our spotted hyena clan. And everyone knew as floppy ear because she had a floppy ear. Not hearing any more alarm calls. Okay, he has popped out on Mamba Road. So he is following those females quite closely. Quite a distance, eh? Sure. Let's see if we can catch up with him before he crosses over into Torchwood. Aircraft, can I join you again? Long-tailed shrike. I hear you calling. And actually, while we're down this side, maybe we should go and check out the hyena den after we get our final look, hopefully, at the Matimba. Just pulling off there. So we actually crossed this whole block. Amazing, eh? Absolutely amazing. In a relatively short space of time. something interesting there. Sure. He's actually in a really good condition for a lion. I say, just a little bit on that lean side, but nothing a good meal won't sort out. Absolutely fantastic. It looks like something happened here because you can see he's taking his time a little bit more and he's just checking around for the scent there. Maybe they actually rested here. Could be a possibility as well. So we're now on cheetah cut line, so we shall see where he takes the route to go in to the property on the eastern side. That's apparently where the female lion's, the spoor was located. Morning, you're welcome. Yeah, go for it. Oh, it's gone that way. Going straight in there. That's interesting. I wonder what the girls did.
Know which one that is?
Apparently one of the Matimbas. I think I had possibly the other one, his tracks going north on Gary Cut Line.
Okay.
But yeah, apparently the Unkahumas are this side. So we think that's the trail that he's following.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, I've lost him.
Yeah, that's interesting actually. I wonder if they... Ephraim, he went straight in from where I am now. So unless they found something in there and then came out further down. But he's definitely gone further in than what he did on the other occasions where he was just marking the trees. But it is amazing, hey, he's just literally being a tracker dog. Just following the scent wherever they've gone, he's going. Well, I think we've actually seen him quite a while now, so I'm thinking maybe we should leave him. He might pop out again, but it's anybody's guess how long that's going to be. So maybe we're fairly close to where that other hyena den is. So maybe we go and have a look down there and see if there's any activity, especially with it being so cool. They might be out of the den, and it might be worth just checking while we're here, and then maybe we can head around towards Twin Dams and see if we can't catch up with the leopard that we left there last night. One of Karula's young sons, coming up for about 2 years old, I believe, and he caught himself a monitor lizard. But we'll take a slow drive down just in case he pops out again. It might be possible, but brilliant to catch up with him, let's say. Certainly a bit of a puzzle this morning, but I think I've got it clear in my head what happened now. But absolutely fantastic to see a beautiful male lion. He's such a stunning male. Beautiful face. You can see he's not been in many fights. Beautiful eyes. Actually, I'm just thinking maybe they were around just as we were leaving. Maybe someone can confirm that for me if they're watching. There are Timbers. The name is actually starting to ring a bell. But maybe I have forgotten a little bit. And there were 2 of them, I remember. It's been 3 years, so do excuse me. It's slowly coming back. And the Timbers, I thought I hadn't heard of them, but actually I think I have. And I think they were around the Nkurumas a lot, if I remember rightly. Also up further along this road, I think we had them. So it is possible. So I think, if memory serves me correctly, I think it's off of Leadwood. It's off of the Cheetah Cut line. We'll have a little drive around here. We might just do a loop, see if we can get my bearings again. But by all accounts, I think it's been visited quite a lot, so we should get a little 2-track leading off here. If that is the case. Definitely, and what a way to start the morning. Beautiful bull elephant, and then having that majestic lion following from pretty much one end of Djuma to the other, almost. And I'm very keen to see if we can't catch up with Djuma again. Son. It just goes to show overcast and cool is definitely the cat's preferred weather. No. Sure. I'm going to pull out, but I think the radio's messing around again. Thanks, Ephraim. Enjoy. Sorry? Oh, here he is. How's that, hey? Brilliant. Oh, fantastic. How's that, hey? Cool, I'll pull out. Yeah.
That was close, wow.
Did he get very close to you? Fantastic. So what's the chances, eh? Just popping out there. Brilliant. And thanks for the update, everybody, on the Matimbas. Apparently in 2011 there were 6 of them. That's when we did meet them. Thanks for that update there. Yeah, as I was saying the name more often, I was like, no, hold on a minute. Ah, yes, of course. But as I say, I was saying the name over and over and thinking, hold on a minute, I remember those. But yeah, apparently there was the one without the tail tuft, and he was the Induna, the chief. That is starting to come back to me now. Thank you, everybody. Sorry for my blonde moment. Blondie is back. Fantastic to grace us with his presence once again. But sadly it sounds like there is only 2, and that's possibly why, because he is going off by himself. Unfortunately, I'm not sure who called in the lions on Impala Plains. So I'm not sure, I don't think we've got an ID on them. I think they said 6 lions, but I might have been mishearing. I thought that hyena den is somewhere around here, if I remember rightly. Unless it's another hyena den that I don't know about. We'll go up Cheetah Cut Line, just in case it's off of there. one. Just looking out for any potential two-track. Liam, busy car, is it off Leadwood or Cheetah Line? Copy, will I see two-track on Cheetah Line? Okay, copy, thank you. Okay, so if I'm saying it is off the Lutu this side. Can you just repeat that, please? Thanks for that. I'm not sure who sent that in, but thank you very much. Seeing it all together again. Oops, sorry. So we're currently on Leadwood. We're gonna go up Cheetah Cliff Line. I thought the active hyena den was this side. Turns out it's actually Cheetah Cliff Line. So I'm not entirely sure where this one is, but I should see hopefully a couple of two tracks going in. Lucky with the hyenas being out and about this afternoon. Or this afternoon? This morning. See, for some reason I keep saying this afternoon. I keep thinking I'm in Australia, I think. Expressive bushlight calling there. Coffee, tea or me? Although I prefer to think it says its name. Orange breasted bushlight. Magpie Stripe. If I see one, I'll stop and show you the Magpie Stripe. I'm just hearing the whistles at the moment. They're sitting just in the thick of a tree. That's a bird that I haven't heard for a long time. Hey, poet in the dim of the note. making sure that I didn't actually miss my turning. Oh, tortoise! Tortoise! That's a nice one. And it looks like a hinged tortoise as well. Very cool. A flatter shell than what leopard tortoise has. Oh, charging us. Yep. Shame, little one. You're almost there. I don't know if you noticed, there was its shell actually fell quite rapidly at the back, and that's where it gets part of its name from. Oh, did he?
Yeah, I'm doing back.
That's where it gets its name from, is hinged. And it'll actually close so it can protect the tail and the back legs. Go ahead. Copy, I'm almost at that junction, if I can join you. Yep. He should be able to right himself. We've got the males come. Oh, here's the lion just here. It does mean I did miss my junction. The signs have moved. Don't worry, I will sort the tortoise out if he doesn't make it over on his own. Just mind the tortoise on the right here. How's that? We try and keep up with him and then we bump into him twice. Absolutely fantastic. Just gonna move forward a little bit. Hi, Lisa from Calgary. Good morning to you, and Lisa would love to see the tracks of the tortoise. Unfortunately, the ground is a little bit too hard for them to have registered. Now I'm just going to jump out quickly. You can just still make out the lion walking up. He's quite far now, so if you want to keep a look on the lion. Just for that little bit longer while we're still recording, because we're going to have to turn around and head back towards Cheetah Cut Line. Did overshoot that junction a little bit. Yeah, I think that's going to be the last. And that's actually, no, that should be Cheetah Cut Line up there. Yes, it is, of course it is. Okay, I'm just going to jump out and sort this tortoise out quickly, and then we'll go and catch up with him. Down, little one. And should be able to get a nice view of him now. There we go. Heading on his way. Yeah, don't go up the bank again. That's what happened to you last time. It's amazing, when they really put their mind to it, they can move pretty fast. Go on, buddy, you can do it. There we go. But yeah, you can see that flattening at the back of the shell now. As I say, that closes slightly. And it just protects their back end and their legs. And the leopard tortoise, the carapace, is a lot more dome-shaped. So that's how you can tell the difference between the hinged and the leopard tortoise. There he goes. And it looked like it was, I said it here, it looked like it was actually a female. Because the shell underneath, it's flat. If it's a female, and the males, it's slightly concave. So that when the male's actually mating the female, he can fit around her shell. That's how you can tell the difference between a male and a female tortoise. It's also very bad practice to pick up a tortoise, because they actually hold water in the bursa, and that's to try and keep them hydrated during the winter months. It's not so bad during the summer months to pick up a tortoise. It isn't great practice to pick up a tortoise, so I literally just flipped it over to help the tortoise back onto its feet. We panicked it a little bit, so it's not unethical to interfere. So I think we panicked and tried to get at the bank. Okay, they're all still looking this way, so lions should still be this side. Ooh! Something's just happened. Did you hear where that came from?
Sounds like that this way somewhere.
There's a little tree truck, I think. Just heard a call. I wondered if he found himself a buffalo. Did you hear that? Sorry?
The hyena.
Ah, okay. Just around the corner. Ah, okay. So there might be a den here. This might be the den I was actually trying to get to. I thought they were seeing him there, that's why I got a bit confused then. Saying no, he thinks he just met up with the hyena. It definitely sounded like this area, didn't it? Branch. Okay, so I think this is the den they were talking about. So we'll come back here. So maybe... Yeah, I can hear the squirrels calling as well. Ah, there he is. It just sounded like a moan. So maybe it was the hyena that he came into contact with. I'd love to try and see if we can catch up with the hyenas. Maybe he's lost the scent. Or maybe just had it in his head to go looking around for a bit of meat, because I think someone said there was a carcass there the other day. Maybe he caught the scent of that. I say, lions will scavenge. In fact, lions will scavenge just as much as hyenas sometimes. Oh, listen. There's a bit of a moo. Moo. Now, I'm sure you're going the wrong way, buddy. Females are that way. How is that, hey? He was on a mission, and he seemed absolutely adamant he had to go and find these females. And then all of a sudden, he's just changed his mind. And he just seems to be quite happy just carrying on marking his territory. Oh, listen, listen, listen. Come back here, buddy. Come on. Maybe he's just getting a bit confused. Not sure where they are. Because I think these cats did a lot of walking last night. He's coming back that way. Oh. sometimes. Go ahead. Wow. Okay, so I think, yeah, what that noise was about then was the hyena den. I didn't realise it was down that side. I thought it was further up the other side, so let's go and see if the hyenas are out again. They might have been taking cover. So I do wonder if that's what pulled him that side, was the carcass, the smell of the carcass. But he's just changing direction. Maybe he's trying to pick up that scent. I think those females were very active by the looks of it last night. And I think that's why he started resorting to some calling, and I was hoping he was going to start roaring. But it's not the best time of day. The sun is starting to heat up, so the sound isn't going to carry as far. That's one of the reasons why lions will call through the night and early morning, so that their voice can actually carry a lot further. But he was making those little contact calls, that He did actually look at me when I did that, did you see? I don't know, he might have just been just behind the bush for you. Carpy also pulling out. Efran is in Bizikaya, this is the one you were saying about. Okay, so this is the right hyena den then. Copy that. Okay, so yeah, just getting confirmation there that Ephraim did see one female hyena running to the west, so that is possibly what we did hear, was the hyena calling, chasing him off. Let's just have a look around the side. I'll be very surprised if babies are coming back out again. I think I heard there was 2 here, so we might have to come back a bit later. It might be if they've had a scare from the lion. They might move the cubs. Definitely has been nice and active. You can see the holes are pretty open. Very little vegetation around. So we need little Bella to start chewing on a bit of vegetation around the hyena den up by Philemon's cut line, so we can see the holes a little bit clearer. So for those of you who missed, I think we're settling on Ntumbela, which means to hide, for our little baby hyena we found up by Philemon's cut line, and shortening it to Bella. Matimba. See if everybody likes that. But at least I now know where this hyena den is. It's not the one I thought it was. But at least we now know where it is, and hopefully we can come back and check on it and see if they are still going to stick around after that line came through here. But I think in the last few minutes, let's just head down to Twin Dams and just see if we haven't got Djuma around there, because he was feeding on a big monitor lizard, so it would be nice to see if he is still there. say, those cubs are going to be safely tucked away, and obviously the adult was here on hand to actually chase off the lion. Where do you think this comes out? Let's just take this one, we might catch up with him again. Not sure exactly, this might come out on Leadwood possibly. So this part is a little bit sketchy still, unfortunately, but it is starting to come back. Walk around in such hot temperatures with that. I feel sorry for them sometimes. But still extremely exciting, eh? I'm sorry I didn't realise this hyena den was there, otherwise we would have gone there a little bit sooner, maybe have seen that interaction. But wonderful to see him and to actually watch that behaviour of him just literally putting his nose to the ground and just following that scent, trying to find those females. And as I say, it could be that one of those females is ready to mate and that's what's driving him to go and find them. It would be nice to see if we can get an ID on those lions that were on Impala Plains. Apparently they headed west, so they would have crossed over Triple M. But it just goes to show, overcast, it's definitely cats weather. All the cats come out to play, which is fantastic. We were just saying we'd love to see lions, hey? And lions can spend up to 22 hours a day sleeping, so to see lion walking around is something very special. If you do have any other questions, then send them through to questions@wildearth.tv or send them through to the Twitter account to #SafariLive. Might just lose you as we go through the dip, but hopefully we won't. Still quite a lot of cloud cover. Through the Milwati. Wow, this is like a beach. Amazing. It wasn't like that before the cyclone, I promise you. sharp lookout. Okay, so just through here is where we left him. If he was full off of that water monitor, and it was a very big water that Villa caught, and hopefully he hasn't gone too far. He might be drinking at the water's edge, so we're going to go around. We'll do a lap around Twin Dams. And maybe we'll be lucky. A lot of billow around here last night. Okay, so a little bit of confusion about the hyena dens. Sorry about that, I thought I was explaining it. Obviously slightly distracted as well. But there are two hyena dens. So we've been going to the one on Philemon's Cut Line, which is where Ntombela is, which means to hide in Shangaan. And the one we've just visited was the other one that we were told it became active a couple of days ago, I think. Well, certainly I heard a couple of days ago it was active, but we haven't been able to get down there until now. And apparently there might be two pups down there, so they might be the pups that Peter and Hayden found. I saw a picture of one of the pups that was about 4 months old, which was very cool to see. So I'm wondering if it's them. That's why I was hoping that we could maybe swing by there and see who was around. Maybe sitting in the jackalberry. Checking no one's in this drainage line here. Maybe it's worth us just having a look and then we'll go around the other side. So yeah, so that's hyena den we were just at is just off of Cheetah Cut Line. I do remember that one now. I thought it was the one that we had a subordinate female at last time. And that was the one I was thinking of, just off of Leadwood, but that doesn't look like it's been active for a long time. There's no tracks there either. But apparently there was a female there, and that's the sound that we heard. I don't know if you guys heard it, but that was the sound that we heard. I thought maybe the line had come across a buffalo. It was kind of like a cool. Sounds like it was actually the hyena defending the den. I say, generally speaking, they don't take food back to the den, or they're not supposed to, according to the literature. But as I say, on a number of occasions, animals don't read the literature. They do what comes naturally. And apparently they did take a carcass there, and that's what I'm thinking maybe drew the lion to the den. And that could possibly be one of the reasons why they're not or it doesn't get documented very often that they take a carcass back because of that very reason. It puts the cubs in danger if there's any larger predators around. If they smell the carcass, they think, oh, I'll have a piece of that, which is possibly what he thought by the looks of it. And got more than what he bargained for. Hello, Hornbill. He found himself a nice tasty morsel. Hi Virginia, from Kentucky again. Welcome back. And Virginia wants to know how long those scent marks last. And to be honest, I'm actually not sure, but I'm sure they do last a fair amount of time. Oh, sorry little hornbill, trying to eat your breakfast and I'm chasing it off. I didn't see you there. Can you see him in the tree? Red-billed hornbill. Found himself a nice locust by the looks of it. So, do you mind? I want to eat him. Thank you very much. Oh, hello. Picked up a stick or something. Chimney, please. Here. So we're going to head through to Chelapan, I think, because it's a little bit choppy here, and see if we can't end up at Pontambella's den. We'll see if we can't catch up with her. And the baby hyena, just because I would like to see if they are around. It would be nice to know. So we did have an elephant tramp. But obviously elephants don't pose as much of a threat as a lion. It'd be interesting to see if they are still around. So yeah, so with the scent marking, it's yeah, I'd say it's difficult to say. I know with the hyena pasting, especially with the brown hyena, it tends to last quite a while, but it is a paste, so it can last a good 2 or 3 weeks. Whereas the urine, I don't think really lasts as long, maybe a week or so. But again, we're thinking in humid terms as well, how often or how much we could smell it, which is probably about a day or so, especially if we smell popcorn. That's leopard urine, that's leopard scent marking. And we can smell that probably about 12 hours, maybe less, after it's scented. That's why if you've got a scent mark, you know, okay, cool, it's pretty close by, we're not too far behind it. But for cats, they obviously have a very good sense of smell, and obviously elephants may be able to smell the urine a lot longer after the cats could. Okay, I'm picking up cat tracks again. I'm picking up lion tracks again, actually. Heading back down there. Again, before the rains, so it was older. Yo, these cats are on a mission, hey? just dislocated slightly. So they do have, there we go. So in loose sand, this is what tortoise spore looks like. And the arrow just showing the direction. So obviously they put the feet in and then the foot gets dragged, so that's where these drag marks come from. The claws get dragged. But if you get them in maybe mud, then this is kind of what it looks like. But there's the claws there, and let's say there's the drag mark. But say sadly not the best substrate in the world to see that. And that's what the terrapin looks like. Terrapin being the freshwater equivalent of turtles, and tortoises being... Oh, hello Ellie! Let's go and say hello to the elephant. So the tortoises live on the land-based, what we call chelonians, shelled reptiles. You off to having a drink? It's like, no, I was deciding I'm going to go and have a drink instead. I was going to go this way, but now I'm going to go that way. I'm just going to go and have a drink, possibly. Let's see if we can't see him from this side. He's not going to go and have a drink. I wonder if it's that young bull we keep seeing on quarantine. You say he just seems to be a little bit old, a little bit young, sorry, to be on his own, but doesn't seem to be any other elephants around. Seeing him eating the marula fruits on the quarantine area. The sky is getting a little bit dark again, so I think we'll leave him to go into the drainage line, and we'll just keep paying a little bit closer to home just in case the sky's open on us. And so we do have to be a bit careful with all the equipment on board. Picking up and temperature is dropping, which tends to suggest the rain isn't too far behind. So we're going to pop out on Weaver's Nest Road. We might run out of time to actually go to the den, but we'll maybe start this afternoon by the den. But what a drive it's been this morning, hey? Sure, to follow our line on his trail of the females, and to have that beautiful bull who was missing a tusk first thing this morning. Just to repeat the name of the baby hyena, I think if everyone's liking the name, because someone came up with Heidi, I thought it was actually, there was a lot of you saying maybe we should have an African name, so I asked Ephraim what the name was, what the Shangaan was to say to hide, and he said it was Ntombela. I think I'm saying it right, but I quite like the Bella at the end, because I thought it probably would be shortened to Bella. Ntombela. I don't know how it's spelt, but if you actually just write down the phonetical way, that's usually the best way of learning these words. Say N-T-O-M and then Bella. Ntombela. I thought it was kind of taking the mixture of a few ideas there. Well, we do have hyena tracks coming back this way, so we might be lucky. Okay, so this is the hyena den on Philemon's Cut Line, where Ntombela has been living. So let's see if she is home. Sign that we've got adult footprints from the back side. Nope, no one here. Just checking around just to see if there's any adults sleeping. So you can see it's pretty bare around the holes. I say there is a good possibility they are still here, but we just haven't been seeing the adults around. You can hear the grey go-away bird saying "Gorrel." But unfortunately we have come to the end of the drive, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up with Ntombela and the rest of the family this afternoon. But I will keep coming back periodically and just checking up and just seeing if they are here. But I think with her being so small, she is going to be hiding away until the adults are here, and then she will come out because she feels a lot safer. So don't panic, I'm sure she's fine. But hopefully we'll be able to check in on her. Is she here? Oh, she's there! Go back inside, it's not safe. Oh, wonderful.
It's a nice way in the door.
That is very cool. Did you hear your name? Do you like your name? Ntombela.
Is it usual for him to come out if there's...
Not usually, but as I say, it could be that the adult is around them and just not seeing them. But this is also what makes me think this is a female, because she's very bold and she has a lot of energy. She was giving her older sibling, I think, a run for her money. As I say, she'll be keeping safe. Remember, there's going to be a little hole right in the back of that den where only she can go. So if there is any predators around, you can see she's very alert. She's got her ears, just keeping a listen out. Oh, but that is perfect. Definitely, what a way to end such a wonderful morning. And I say, much cooler than it was yesterday. So thank you very much for joining us this morning, and I'm just so chuffed we managed to get to see baby Ntumbela. And I'm definitely going to be looking forward to catching up with her over the next couple of weeks as well, as I'm sure you will. But from myself, Ntumbela, Pete in Final Control and Andrew on camera, take care everybody, and I'll see you this afternoon.